Amazon, I'm Jasmine Moyer, and welcome to Sway TV.
I'm so excited to get started today.
We're gonna have some fun on the street.
And we're doing Workout Wednesdays here on Amazon Live.
And she is fresh off the set of Shark Tank.
It's such an honor to be here today, so thank you.
We are going to be talking all about parenting.
This is our tribe of women. What is the key to a successful business?
And it's Brad Grunberg. Hi, Brad.
This is a game changer. There's a Tesla. You can actually buy a car on Amazon.
That is so crazy.
The perfect gift. Yes, we got our Drake's cake break. So awesome.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake your Zulai. This is fun.
Here we go. I'm so excited. I can't even stand it. That was very dramatic.
Oh, Naveen says this is better than Netflix. So happy New Year 2021. Let's bring it in with a bang.
2, 1.
So grateful for you guys and for Sway TV.
I've had such a great time with all of you.
We'll see you soon. Until then, let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway. Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Good morning, Amazon, and welcome to Sway TV. I'm your host, Candace Kita, and I'm coming to you live from the beautiful Sway TV house here at almost sunny Los Angeles, California. Now, as I said, we're coming to you live on Monday morning, and thank you so much for joining us today and taking your time to be with us. So I just want to ask, how are you guys today? You know, we have a comment section here, so please go ahead and leave some comments, any questions, suggestions, and tell me how you're doing today, because you know, as we are coming to you live today, I can respond back to you right as you leave a comment. Mar started following us. Mar, thank you so much for following us. And if you guys haven't done it yourself, go ahead and hit that follow button. That's right, hit that follow button and follow us here live on Sway TV, here on the Amazon platform. And you know, if you've seen some of our other shows, you know that we have great programming, super hosts, awesome content. So go ahead and hit that hit that follow button and follow us. You're watching us live here on Sway TV. And you know, we also have a Sway TV podcast. That's right, we have a Sway TV podcast that you can listen to on Amazon Music. And if you've missed some of our past episodes and want to see some of our great hosts, say you missed Shay J and her workout. She has awesome workout routines in the morning with yoga, cardio, and slow deep stretch. So if you missed one of her episodes, you want to catch it, no worries. Just go to swayreplay.com. That's swayreplay.com. And you know, whether you're watching us live now or listening to us on our podcast, or you are watching some of the past episodes on swayreplay.com, don't forget to shop the carousel. That's right, you can see all sorts of great products, great items that just make your life more interesting, I think, or easier. And anyways, the hosts have taken time to find some of their favorite items for you. So no matter what, don't forget to shop the carousel. Now, I'm coming to you live from the Sway TV house, and so many people ask us, we have so many questions and comments that come into the queue. So they always want to know about the Sway TV house. So I'm telling you right now on Monday morning, I'm looking out and I can see all the way down to Malibu. We have a view all the way down to the beach. I can see all the way down to Santa Monica. I'm looking right now and I can see down into the canyon, and the sun is just barely peeping its eyes over the ridge of the canyon right now. It's so beautiful. I'm so excited to be with you here this morning. And you know, if you were here earlier, we were talking about me time and how important it is to have me time for the self. And that includes, you know, massage and taking care of yourself. Today we did pretty hands and feet. And you know, beauty, I think, is such an important thing for most women, isn't it? Because no matter what, it just makes you feel so much better about yourself. And taking care of yourself is so important because quite often I think we don't have time, because a lot of us are moms, we're busy moms, or we are either working remotely in home offices, or we're working in the office, or we're having busy commutes and with husbands and pets and just everything. It gets overwhelming sometimes, doesn't it? And we never take the time for ourselves. And so I always thought that it was really important to take that moment of 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at night, and have, you know, wonderful beauty products that we can work with, and skincare, like different tricks and tips with makeup. So, you know, today, I thought, I'm so excited about this. I feel like we have such a wonderful, wonderful, exciting guest that we're going to be bringing on today, that's going to be talking about makeup and beauty. He's so well known in the industry. He's got a great book, and he's got some beautiful products. So anyways, without further ado, I want to introduce us to a guest that we have today. He wrote a book. It's called My Pursuit of Beauty. Vince Bonato. Vince, how are you?
How are you? Good morning.
Good morning. Now, where are you coming to us first off this morning? Because we're here live.
I am in San Juan Capistrano, California, right in between San Clemente and Laguna Beach.
Oh, it's so beautiful down there. I've been down there many times before. I just love it down there.
That's gorgeous.
Now, you wrote this book. I am so excited about this. So it's called My Pursuit of Beauty, and you are a well-known, well, let's face it, you are a beauty phenom here in Hollywood. Everybody knows you, and you are just such a knowledgeable person on beauty. So tell us, let's go all the way to the back. Let's go all the way back first. Tell us about, how did you get into beauty? Because I know you have this really funny story about Young and the Restless and your grandma.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's kind of embarrassing to say, but I started my career at 10 years old, coming home from school, watching The Young and the Restless with my grandmother and sister. Mm-hmm. And that's where I literally got the idea from. The show happened to be one of the surviving soap operas that are still on today. Mm-hmm. And the whole show is about a company called Jabot, which is a cosmetic company. And I was a young kid in South Jersey on a Jersey Shore where I grew up. And that was my idea. So as early as 10 years old, I was creating fragrances fictitiously in my sister's Easy Bake Oven and trying to be like the television show. So that's literally where I got the idea from. And so I got to give The Young and the Restless and William Bell, who's the creator, I guess.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, you know, it's so funny because I always associated growing up watching soap operas too. I watched General Hospital and loved it. The ladies were so glamorous. And I always wondered, was real life that way or just the ladies on the soap operas? Because you'll see them dying and languishing in the bed, and they have beautiful makeup on, dewy, glossy lips. Is that what attracted you? Was the glamour of the soap operas that you were watching all the time?
I think so, yes. It really was the glamour and even like the drama, which I don't know why. But I felt like somehow that was all tied in together. You know, and then a couple years later, which made it even worse, was Dynasty came out in 1981.
Oh, I know.
A massive love of mine. And so then the combination of the beauty company of The Young and the Restless, and then the money and the power and the stuff of Dynasty shaped my career, which is horrible because there are two very, probably bad examples, but that's where I started from. And that's what I always wanted to do.
Well, I know because everybody wanted to look like Alexis back then, I remember.
Yes, Alexis Morel, Carrington Colby, Dexter Rowan, to be exact.
Wait, what was Linda Evans' character? What was her name?
She was Crystal Carrington.
Oh, that's right. She was. So you either liked Alexa or you liked Crystal.
I liked Alexis. Yeah, she was a baller. Yeah, that was Joan Collins' character.
That's right. And I remember when she was on the stand. Remember she was in the court
And the
and
white
she had
hat.
the big hat, and she came up and she had
Yeah.
hair and perfect makeup.
That's right. That's right.
I remember, and everybody wanted the big puffy sleeves at the time.
Yeah, that's correct.
They were so 80s, and the glamorous lips and the big eyes and the huge hair.
Yeah, if you were growing up in the 80s, I mean, it really was like Dynasty, Falcon Crest, Knots Landing, and Dallas. That's like was like all the nighttime stuff. And I don't know why 11, 12 years old I was actually allowed to watch it, but I did. So I don't know if I was shaped, properly. And then 1989, when it went off the air, I cried for like a week, like literally. Like I thought my family, like I thought I lost my family. I was livid. So I mean, I was really attached to it.
Oh, no, but what about Flamingo Road? Remember? That came on after.
Sure. A lot of spinoffs. Hotel, Flamingo Road, Sunset Beach. There's all these kind of spinoffs that were from it. But the big four.
What about, wasn't Morgan Fairchild on Flamingo Road? I mean, I thought she looked fabulous, and she still does.
I think, yeah, she was. I believe, yeah, she was. That one didn't last as long, but that was a good one too.
Oh, that's true. So now, you have so many, because I was reading all the reviews of this book, and so many people in the industry. So tell me about Tori Spelling and Lorna Luff, because they wrote such glowing reviews of My Pursuit of Beauty.
Right. Well, Tori Spelling actually ties into her father, for Dynasty. That's how I ended up meeting him. Back in the very late 90s when I moved to Los Angeles. I was doing some work there in Beverly Hills, and I met him. Went to his one day, and I said, Mr. Spelling, I mean, exactly what I just told you. You shaped my career and my life. And I met Tori when that was the height of 90210. Met her a long time ago. And then just gently a couple of years ago, we met again at a beach resort here in Monarch Beach golf course, and she was out there with her family, and she remembered me, and so we kind of hit it off, and we've been friends ever since. It's been about 5-6 years now. So we chat often, and she was one of the first person to read a one to get. I wanted to get it to her because a lot of the book was stemmed from from what her father actually put on TV. We're a beautiful little blurb about it. And then Lorna Luft I met because we were talking about doing some work with Judy Garland, who's her mother. So I'm a perfumer and a certified nose, means I develop fragrances, and so we're looking at developing a fine fragrance for Judy Garland for her 100th birthday, which will be June of 2022.
Wow.
So it'll be a post fragrance. That's why I'm working with her now, and absolutely lovely woman. And she's one of the first people to read the book and put a nice blurb in there for me.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Well, now tell me, when you work with stars and you work with just everyday women, tell us about what you think of the transformation aspect of beauty and makeup, hair and makeup, and how that really can change a woman both on the outside and on the inside, and how important that is.
Yeah, that's kind of really what the book's about, Candace. My pursuit of beauty was not only about me pursuing beauty in the beauty industry, but also about your own self-worth. Because I didn't have any of that. I had many plastic surgeries. I didn't like the way I looked when I was a kid. I had a big nose. I had hair I didn't like. I was made fun of. So really, what the double entendre of the title is really tied into helping people feel better, from the inside out rather than the outside in. So when I develop these products, I mean, yes, they're superficial and topical, and they make women and men more beautiful, but I really do think that translates into how you feel on the inside too when you feel better on the outside.
Absolutely. In fact, a lot of what you were talking about in My Pursuit of Beauty is your journey towards self-acceptance.
Right.
And I think that's basically the overriding theme of everything, whether you do it, through beauty or make yourself feel better on the outside and therefore make these little incremental steps of feeling better on the inside. I really want to go back to, you were talking about transforming yourself because you dealt with, as a child, incessant bullying. Tell me about the bullying and how you had body dysmorphia and felt like you had low self-esteem and self-worth, and how you were able to transform yourself and really come full circle.
Right. Well, a couple things actually. One, to your point, I had a disorder. I still have a disorder called trichotillomania, which is hard to pronounce. It's hair pulling disorder. It affects actually mostly women, but I'm one of the lucky percentage of the men that have it. But it's triggered by a traumatic event. And 11 years old, I was very close to my grandmother, and she passed away with me by myself. And the following week, I know down to the day I actually started the hair pulling. So that started from a big problem with my self-esteem from the very, very beginning. So that didn't help. So I always had bald patches when I was a kid growing up, all the way through my teenage years. So again, with that, I felt like I needed to like just kind of keep, perfecting myself and trying to make myself better. And then back to Dynasty, I hate to bring that back up again, but on Dynasty was the very first gay character on TV, which I didn't know I was gay at the time, but until I was 17 years old. But also in one of the episodes, the character who plays Stephen Carrington was in like an oil rig explosion, and he came back like 3 weeks later after having plastic surgery, and it was a whole nother character they brought into the show. And in my opinion, the second character that plays Stephen was a lot more handsome than the first. So I'm like, oh, you can actually do this. You can be like an oil rig explosion or not like the way you look, and you could like, have plastic surgery. So that was kind of still to me from the very beginning. So again, like at 11, 12, 13, 14 years old, the whole time frame, I planned on having plastic surgery when I was old enough. That wasn't very helpful, but I was always trying to, between the trichotillomania and not feeling good about myself and not liking my nose and my body, that was kind of where direction I was heading for, unfortunately.
Oh, wow. When you were talking the trichotillomania and the body dysmorphia, and you're also talking about dyslexia too, and how I know with people that have dyslexia, sometimes there's that a feeling of not being good enough in school and not being able to keep up because of the dyslexia. I have family members that have dyslexia too, and so that's yet but another thing on top of everything else that I think you were dealing with. So you've had these layers of issues growing up, as if not growing up is difficult as it is,
Yeah. And I feel like I had all of them. Dyslexia, ADD, ESPN, PMS, everything. All the initials you can think of.
All the acronyms that you could think of.
That's right. And somehow I made it all the way through to my senior year of high school with nobody knowing. So I didn't know until I went to a very good private college in Pennsylvania, where every single professor we had was a doctor what they did. So we're still the only college in the country that has a doctor of every single profession. So if you had social scientist, it was a doctor of social scientists. If you have yoga, it was a doctor of yoga. So long story short, I wrote my first paper, my first sentence. The professor was like, "You have dyslexia." I'm like, and she knew it. So I didn't know until my freshman year of college that I had this, and I struggled all the way through all school because I didn't know.
Wow, that is amazing. Then what made you at age 20 decide to jump in your car and drive across country from Jersey all the way out here? I mean, what was the motivation that made you? I mean, that's a huge jump,
Yeah, it's a huge jump. And I was in school in college and again in the Pennsylvania mountains. And one thing I was doing that my family friends, everyone said in my senior year of high school, just go to school, make sure it's really what you want to do. And I knew I was 10, like I mentioned earlier, I really wanted to be a cosmetic chemist and develop beauty products. And unfortunately, I listened to everybody else and I went to college. But on the weekends, or even on the weekdays, after I had 3-4 hours of class, I'd drive to Manhattan, which is a 3-hour drive with my roommate, and I would go to Revlon, Lauder, Chanel, Elizabeth Arden, and I would bring resumes and stuff into the location. This is this is pre 9/11, where you still can actually get in the building, kind of be able to do stuff like that. So I was driving back and forth to New York City because I wanted to be in beauty. And then one day in college, about 2 years in, I'm like, you know what, I'm out. And to your point, I just got in the car and I drove. And I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know if I was going to Denver or Dallas or Chicago.
Wow.
I finally got to Malibu. I'm like, okay, well, I'm either settling here or I'm going to Tokyo. I can't. That's the next spot I can go at this point. So I just settled in California and just started knocking it out.
And so you came out here by yourself?
I did. I came out by myself. I was on a drive. Like I mentioned, didn't know where I was going. I got as far as Phoenix, and I found a Harper's Bazaar magazine that I got at a gas station, and there was a woman in there that was famous for called Kitchen Cosmetics. She had a very famous salon in Beverly Hills, and I called her from the car in Phoenix, said, I'm going to be out in Beverly Hills in 3 days. I want to come work for you. And she thought I was nuts. And I'll never forget the day I got there, because it was the day of the OJ verdict results.
Oh my goodness.
So I got to her salon that day, and everybody was watching what happened with OJ Simpson. And I knocked on her door and said, "Oh, remember I called you 3 days ago, and I want to work with you and learn about the beauty industry." And she again thought I was crazy. And then 1 day later, I showed up again and said, "I'm here to work. I'm going to work for you for free." And I did. I worked for her for free for a year. She let me do it, and I interned her.
Oh
and I lived
my
up
goodness.
hard. robbing Peter to pay Paul just to get through that 1 year internship with her. And that's where I started learning how to develop products. And I was at 20 years old at that point.
That's amazing. What do you feel like gave you the gumption to be able to do that? Because looking back, if you look at this now, you're like, wow, I took my car from New Jersey, didn't even know where I was going, thought I was going to go to Denver, ended up in Arizona, called this lady I don't even know, ended up in California in Southern Cal, worked for somebody for free. I mean, looking back, it's almost, it's unbelievable to think, did you just take it one day at a time? Or like what gave you the strength and the power to do it?
I did, and I really didn't know what I was doing. I just kind of followed the force, if you will. It was more a thing about frustration. Everyone saying this is not really what you want, because really cosmetic chemistry is not a major in the United States. It doesn't even exist. It's popular in Europe. So I had to kind of design my own major. So I already my sophomore year of college, I was telling them what I want to do, and they're like, "Well, we can't. This like doesn't even exist here." I mean, so I had to go learn it, and I just really said, you know what, I'm gonna just go and prove to everybody this is what I want to do, and I'm gonna make it work. And that's really where it came from. I think more out of spite than anything else.
Oh, I know. Sometimes that gives you a lot of inertia, you know. Right. Did you have the support of your family when you did this, and what did they think?
I did have support. I mean, it was hard for them. I'm a 100% Roman Catholic Italian. I'm just mentioning that because the people that are Italian will know that the families are very, very close. So my mother would call me like 3 times a day, every single day, till the day she died like 10 years ago. So that was an ongoing thing. So they did support me, yes, but they thought also I was nuts at the same point. I didn't know where I was going. I had no money. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have any experience. But I just really, once I got there, right down the road was Vidal Sassoon Salon, and at the time Vidal and Beverly Sassoon had just gotten divorced, and in the divorce Vidal kept the company, the salons, and his Beverly, who is his ex-wife now, got control of the product line. And I had met her at a party, and that was my very first job, that she was going to revamp the whole Vidal Sassoon product line, the hair care line, and I started working for her also to help her reformulate the Vidal Sassoon hair care line. So I learned from her also how to also do that, and how to win something in a divorce if you wanted to.
Well, we have so many questions now from people that are watching right now. I'm just going to read them out to you. You can answer one at a time. Who is Vince's favorite celebrity that he has worked with?
Favorite celebrity? God, it's really hard. Definitely, I would say actually Jennifer Lopez. She was one of my first clients in the very late 90s. I worked on a fragrance for her called Still. She developed at a very large company, but I was one of the collaborators on it, and I met her multiple times, and she's absolutely lovely, just lovely you think that she is. She's brilliant. At the time, she was at the height of her career when Jenny from the Block came out, and she was from the Bronx, and I was from South Jersey, so we kind of hit it off talking about New York and stuff. She used to call me Vinny from the Block, so we really kind of hit it off, and I'm still really proud to have worked on that fragrance for her, because obviously she's so big, today even more, but she was my favorite one for, by far. And she's absolutely lovely and brilliant for that matter.
Oh, awesome. I absolutely agree. Here's another question. What is the update on Vince's documentary film in the works?
Yes, we have a documentary coming out called Skin Deep, Formulating a Legacy. And really what that is a shallow dive in what I've actually been doing my whole career. So it documents me showing America how products are made from concept to launch. Because we get that question all the time. How do you actually get products made? How do we do it? And it's really very, very involved. It's not just like you would think. It's not like glamorous. It's not clean. Like I go to my lab, I come back, and I'm like, I'm filthy and dirty. So it's really showing America how products are made. It profiles a couple of our celebrity clients, going through all the R&D process, all the way through, development, getting into the store shelf, et cetera. And it's all about my life also, how I started. And I say a shallow dive because the book is really more of a deep dive into my life, because that goes all the way back to childhood and all the way through. So the documentary is more kind of surface oriented, kind of showing how we make things. So we don't know when in 2021 coming out, but it is coming out at some point. It's been being filmed for the last 7 years, and that's coming out very soon.
Oh, I'm so excited. Do you know what platform it's going to be on, or where people can see it when it does come out?
Yeah, at this point with the virus, it's probably going to be still Apple TV, Netflix. So soon it's going to be kind of home. We were going to be launching it in the movie theaters, but it depends what happens with the virus, of course, and when it comes out. So I think at the moment, it's just if this COVID is not under control in the next like 6 or 7 months, it's probably going to be like on just kind of internal platforms. Again, Netflix, Apple, that kind of thing, etc.
Got it, got it. Now we have a comment. The Pulpwood Queen is here. An absolutely fabulous interview with Vince Finotto. So that's awesome. Do you know who that is, or just a person out there who's a fan of yours?
No, I do. That's probably Kathy Murphy, who owns Pulpwood Queens in Texas. It's one of the largest, I think the largest reading groups in the world, actually. So I'm her 2021 February. So right now, February pick for Book of the Month. So you can get the book through Pulpwood Queens and Book of the Month for her right now.
Where in Texas? I'm curious.
I don't know the exact city, actually, but she is in Texas, and maybe she'll comment what actually area. I don't know what area in Texas she's in. Oh,
tell me what area you're from, because I'm from Texas too, Pulpwood Queen, so I'm just curious. And then Caitlin says, how unfor is door-to-door sales? So I'm sure. And then Pulpwood Queen says, how can I share this video? It's wonderful, and the book is a must-read. Now, I'm sure, I know, it is just so funny, and we're going to have little snippets that he and I are going to talk about shortly, because I picked some out that I think are hilarious and so funny, and so we've just got to share them. I have another question though. What's your experience working in the beauty industry in Dubai?
Well, it's a whole different market. They're very, very high-end prestige market. And I developed my current line called Caviar and Diamonds, which I finally got to after 25 years. And I developed it originally specifically for the Dubai market, for the UAE. Dubai is one of the diamond capitals of the world. So I have a product line that I was planning on launching with them. Just right now with the buyers, the distributor fell through, so we can't do it at the moment. But to your point, that the product line actually had diamond syrup, which is diamond dust, and caviar extract for tightening and firming the skin on contact, and it's a diamond-driven line. So it's a very, very high-end prestige product line that we developed specifically for the Dubai market, but now it's going to be available everywhere because our distributor fell through at the moment.
Oh, got it, got it. We're going to be talking about it shortly. And if you've just joined us, good morning, Amazon. I'm Candace Kita, and we're here at Sway TV. And we've got a terrific guest. If you're just joining us now, we have author Vince Finotto of My Pursuit of Beauty. We've been talking about his new book and about his career and his 25-year career plus, and also at an amazing new line of skincare products that he's going to be talking to us about today. Actually, I have the product here. Would you like me to show it? And then Vince, you can talk about it?
Sure.
Okay, awesome. So what I have here, I have to show the packaging because the packaging alone is beautiful. Talk about luxury, you guys. I saw the sex, and now I'm actually going to open it up, and I hope this does not fall out. Oh, hold on, we have another. You look fabulous. Your anti-aging is working. Is that to you or me? You know what? Let's both take it as a compliment. Thank you. Thank you. Vince is like, thank you. I'm like, thank you. And then Pulpwood Queen says, Holly Lake Ranch, Texas, between Tyler and Shreveport. I know exactly. Check out my international book club at thepulpwoodqueens.com. That's about 2 hours from where I'm from. So I've been to the Bossier City, Arclay, Shreveport, Tyler area many, many times. It's such a great place. And the Tyler Rose Festival. So here is this, oh my goodness, look everybody at his skincare line. How luxurious and gorgeous is this? Now Vince has taken such detail. I opened this box and I about died. So Vince, do you want me to pull out each item one by one, and you can explain it, and I'll hold it up for your viewers to see?
Right.
Okay, here we go, Vince. I'm holding this one right here.
And give it a shake, Candace.
Oh, sure. Okay, let me shake it.
Yep.
I haven't shaken it yet.
Yeah, so you see all the little floating.
I do see these little floating bubbles in here. I wasn't sure. They're so neat. I don't know if everybody can see them. There we go.
So what you're holding, Candace, this is called a micellar fluid. And when I started this process about 7 years ago, my product line, California was in a horrible drought. So I was kind of trying to develop something very creative where we actually did not need to use water to take your makeup off. So this is actually a water cleanser. So you can cleanse your whole entire face without actually using water or even turning on the spigot. And also it's a makeup remover for the evening time on a cotton swab. So it takes off all your makeup. It's completely safe for the eyes. and it's called a micellar fluid. And the floating beads in there are jojoba beads that keep your skin soft and moisturized and add more moisturization to the skin. So it's kind of a cleanser on the go. We don't have to have any whatsoever to use it.
That's amazing. Now, what about girls like me that wear a ton of eye makeup and lashes and everything? Will it take off all the, if I put this on a cotton ball and put it on my eyes, it'll even take all the liner and everything off?
Yes, it will. It actually takes off everything. So it takes off everything from neck to nuts, I call it. It's the best way to put it. But you can use it for the eyes. We've done ocular studies with it, so it's very safe for the eyes, contact users, etc.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, that's something for me because I can never get my eye makeup off, and I try, and then I end up pulling the skin that's so delicate under there, and I don't think that's such a good idea. So now, what about this eye cream? I'm so excited about it.
So this is a dual active eye cream. We call it dual active again. Once again, because everything in the kit to be dual active. So the kit is actually 4 products that actually are 8 products in total. So they do a morning and night rituals. So the eye product, it treats fine lines, wrinkles, and feathering in the evening time, and also dark circles, puffings, and discoloration in the morning. So it's a dual active eye cream that literally does everything. And also it's unique in a sense where mostly eye creams you put kind of on below the eye. This is for the whole entire orbit. So the lid, the sides, the crow's feet, wrinkles, feathering, also underneath. So it's a complete full orbital eye cream from full circle, and it does 8 different things.
Oh, wow, that is amazing. And if you ladies out there right now, if you have any questions or comments in regards to Vince's products, any questions, he's here right now. And we're here live with you now. So if you want him to answer, the master, to answer any questions that you have about beauty, his new skincare line, what's in the line, how to apply it, please let us know. Now is the time to put something into the chat section. Now we have these morning dewdrops. Can you see it, Vince?
Yep, that is the creme de la creme of the line. That's a 30-day supply, so it's 1 capsule per day, and that's pure caviar extract. So that literally feels like silk and on the skin. If you put it on, it tightens and firms the skin on contact. And also it's a phenomenal foundation for when you put on your makeup. You put your foundation on top, it just glides on, gives your foundation more playtime and slip on the skin. So if you were to be able to try that on your hand, you wouldn't believe how it feels, and just changed your hand within a couple seconds. So all the products in the kit are we call it instant gratification, instant gratifiers to it. So with the next product that we'll get to, which is the 4th one, it all you feel everything and see everything on the skin in 15 to 20 seconds, which is obviously very quick.
Oh, wow. Well, Zoe, thank you so much for following. Thank you so much for following and watching this morning. And thank you, Pulpwood Queen. Candace, you're a wonderful interviewer. So impressed. I'm so excited. Thank you. You made my day. You made my day. And another customer says, where can we buy your book and your products? So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
So right now, the book, of course, is on Amazon. So it's available right now on Kindle and paperback. And we have an audio book that we're just finishing up right now, and that'll be, I believe, on Amazon as well. And then the product line right now at the moment is at VincenzoSkincare.com, which is my website. So just Vincenzo, which is VINCENZO skincare.com. And also we're getting in the process of getting on the Amazon platform right now, going through all the necessary steps.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so if you guys are interested, and of course, I would suggest getting The Pursuit of Beauty, because we're going to be talking more about that book as we go on. But Vince, you just said if you were to take one and put it on your hand right now, we would feel a difference. So do you guys in the chat, do you want me to put one on and I can tell you exactly what it feels like? And Vince, you can tell me about the products on it and what I should be feeling on my hand. So what is this? It's a little pod.
Yeah, it's a capsule. You just break it off the top.
Okay, like this. Oh, I just did it. Okay, and then put it on my hands.
Yep, and you put it on just one hand so you can see the difference. And what you're gonna feel like silk as soon as you put it in. And once you get it all in, you're gonna be able to see on both hands how it gets so silky and tightens and firms on contact. And just again, it's amazing playtime, which means you have the spreadability for it. So it goes a very long way. A lot of people actually will use half a capsule in the morning and the other half in the evening time because it has so much spreadability and playtime to it. And,
So-
and when you put it on your face, you can go all down into the neck, into the décolleté, even to the top of the breast area. You'll get all that tightening and firming on contact.
Wow. So you can use this, like you said, you put it underneath your foundation?
Correct. So that's the very last step before you put on your foundation. Correct.
So would I put a lotion or a moisturizer on and then I would put on the capsule, or just the capsule?
No, you would put on you want to put the capsule on naked skin. So after you cleanse and tone, you put the capsule on and all on your skin directly. And then your last step would be the moisturizer, and then you go ahead and move it to your foundation. So the actual the main product is the caviar the caviar the caviar day and night cream, which is in the box, which has the brown caviar beads that are in it. And that'd be your last for your foundation.
Oh, I get it. And you can put this on your eyelids and just all over your face, like you said, down to the décolletage over here as well.
Now your hands feel really silky. Do you feel that like kind of chalky dry down to it?
Well, I love the fragrance. It's so light and it feels like silk. I can't even tell you how soft, and yet it already soaked into my skin. I feel. I don't feel like it's greasy or heavy or anything. It's like a light silk.
Right.
It's so baby soft. I love it.
Feel.
Oh, I love it. So now the next product that I see here, I'm telling you, it looks like caviar to me. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, and that's the Mercedes of the line, I guess, if you will. That's the main product. That's your moisturizer and night cream. So again, it's for dual active, so it's morning and evening. And what you're holding there, Candace, is that it's a very unique fill. What it is actually the formulation is actually the cream suspended in gel. So we have this thing called a diving auger, which is actually the needle that goes in and puts each caviar bead in one at a time. So kind of like in normal production and beauty products, you can make like on a high-speed line, you can make 100 to like 110 moisturizers per minute. Mine take about 1 per every 6 minutes. So it's very, very unique, small, slow fill, because we're actually putting the caviar extract within the diamond cert matrix in around the product. So this is the highest end product of the formulation of the line.
Oh,
so
wow.
If you turn it sideways, you'll be able to see the kind of the caviar beads.
Oh, yeah, because I want them to be able to see the actual beads. Let me see if I can actually get closer for you there. If you can see the beads. You know what? Should I open the product to you?
And you'll see right away when you open it up. There you go. If
you can see the suspended in the gel?
Yes, exactly.
So when a lady would use this, would she just dab the top and get the beads and the gel?
Yeah, exactly. As you go through it, it'll mix automatically together as you go through it. We have a little spoon in there too, like a little caviar spoon that you can use to get it out with and put it onto your skin.
Oh, I'm so excited about using some of these products. That's so amazing. Everybody, if you're just joining us right now, we have beauty expert Vince Bonato, and he's talking about his book, My Pursuit of Beauty, in addition to this amazing skincare line that is going to be available soon, and I'm going to show you how luxurious this line is. You can see all the products that come in this line, and we were just talking about that. If you have any questions or comments, any questions to ask Vince about beauty, any beauty tips, he's been in the industry for over 25 years out here. Everybody in Hollywood knows him as a beauty expert. Now let's talk about, so please leave some questions in the chat section. He'd be more than happy to answer them for you right now. Let's talk about this book. I have to ask you, tell me about the situation that you talk about in My Pursuit of Beauty. When you get stuck in a water slide, you have to.
Of course, that's the one you picked out, right?
I have to hear this story.
Yes. Well, very simply, I was at a trade show in Orlando, Florida, and I had a couple hours off, and I decided to go by the pool. And, you know, like any grown adult, of course I want to go down the water slide. So I went up there and went down it, and halfway down it, I realized I went through the children's slide instead, so I got stuck in the middle of the tube, water slide. And all my colleagues and friends and the whole industry were down there at the pool, and it was like a big time stuck. I mean, I was like there. I was so stuck that I got halfway down full speed, and my bathing suit actually ripped off and went down. So now I actually was naked inside a children's slide, which is not so good. So they really thought they were going to be able to get me out, and then flash forward 45 minutes later, they actually had to call the fire department to get me out. And they tried everything. There was like those old-fashioned kind of popcorn maker things you have like a carnival and stuff. They had it there down at the pool, and one of the lifeguards got the idea to like put down the hot butter down the slide and try and have me slip out, which didn't work. Now I'm like naked, covered in hot butter in the water slide. And finally I had to get cut out from the fire department, and they pulled me out, and they didn't realize they're going to pull out a grown man naked in a children's slide covered in hot butter. So it just could not got any worse. And then flash forward a day later, of course everybody in the industry knew about it. So I went to the trade show and everybody knew. It actually ended up on the Orlando local news about this guy getting stuck naked in a water slide. So the whole part was why I was naked, but they didn't know my bathing suit got ripped off because I was going such a fast speed that it just like ripped off my body, which was a new beautiful Burberry bathing suit, make it even worse that I London. So I lost that bathing suit, which was worse than anything else.
See, that's why you guys, not only do you get beauty in my pursuit of beauty, you get naked guys in a child's pool with popcorn and butter all over them. So you got to get the book. Now, one viewer just said, who are some of your beauty mentors?
They're actually local chemists of mine. They probably wouldn't know their names, but one name is Marie Ardita. She's my principal scientist. She used to work at Gillette for many, many years, developing the original shaving cream. So I teamed up with her about 10 years ago, and she taught me how to kind of get really deep dive into the formulation and how to put them together. But as far as like people that people would know, I mean, I really kind of admired Coco Chanel and Elizabeth Arden and Estee Lauder. Again, they weren't actually chemists, but they were the company that I kind of thought to be after. So I had local people that are not really known in the world, but they're very known in our industry who they are, that taught me the beauty industry. But the big names that everyone would know are companies I looked up to that I wanted to be like and or mimic.
Right. And another viewer just said, will you be holding a book signing in Hollywood or Beverly Hills?
I hope so, yes. I mean, it just really depends on this virus. Yeah, everybody's working on it. I just don't, I mean, a lot of people are able to do the in-person, signings just as long as we can be COVID safe. So I don't really know where that stands as of yet, but we plan on doing a whole entire book tour for sure at some point. We just don't know when we actually can do it because of the virus.
Right. That makes sense. That makes sense to answer your question. And then Mar just asked, what lesson or lessons would a reader get from reading your book?
I would say it's kind of a joke, but also serious. I always say, buy the book, read it, enjoy it, and do absolutely nothing that actually happened in it, and you'll be much more successful quicker than I was. So I literally, everything I did in the book was completely wrong. So I would say, read it and then do the opposite of that. So it's more of a cautionary tale of how to be successful than just go ahead and don't follow what I did. That's for sure.
It's like learn from my mistakes.
Right. Now the whole book of mistakes is what it actually is.
It's your book of misfortunes.
That's right.
Now, Purple Queen says to tell Vince for you to tell us about that infamous plane ride.
Oh,
so
God,
the
yeah.
infamous plane ride. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's a long story, but I'll definitely dive into it. It was post 9/11 only by about 10 days. So it was the very, very first day that the FAA allowed flights to fly again. So it's on, I know the exact day, it was September 22nd. And I had a flight to Toronto to go to another trade show. And long story short, we only got in the air about 10 minutes out of LAX, and we had a couple, a male and a female potential terrorists go into the bathroom and try and light the toilet on fire, which happened to be over the gas tanks, and we had the whole cabin was filled up with fires. And coincidentally, I was sitting in seat 1A and 1B. To flash back my whole entire life, I was sitting next to Eric Braeden, who was one of the stars of The Young and the Restless. So my life came full circle. That I grew up watching The Young and the Restless, and then this star who played Victor Newman on The Young and the Restless was on the show, on the plane with me. And this was just a long journey of being scared of what the hell is going to actually happen. That morning when I had left my house, I just was kind of locking my house and kind of closing up my TV and everything. And I remember seeing Dick Cheney, the vice president at the time, talking about rules of engagement, and I was turning off the TV saying about shooting down flights and all that kind of stuff. So it was kind of in the back of my mind. And we had all this activity going on in the plane, and at that point we had to go out over the Pacific Ocean and wait for orders about what we're going to actually do. We were told there was a bomb on the plane, and we ended up having F-15 fighter jets on both sides of the plane, waiting to potentially shoot us down. So the only reason that we survived, that we were on an Air Canada flight, which was of course, a Canadian aircraft, so the Americans didn't have permission to shoot it down. So they were trying to get a hold of the Prime Minister of Canada at the time, and they couldn't get a hold of him. So that's how we actually survived. That we were not able to shoot down our own, it wasn't our aircraft. So it really, I mean, the story just goes on forever. But we eventually, landed at LAX, and we still thought we had a bomb on the plane. So we all had to be rushed off. We were quarantined for 24 hours, being questioned. And it just was like a horrible experience. And again, anyone that went through 9/11 know that like 10 days later, especially we were flying, even 6 months later, somebody would sneeze on an airplane, you would jump. So this was like really just the scariest moment of my life for sure. And I don't want to go into the whole story. You probably want to read it better, but that's kind of the nutshell of what happened. So it was a potential, well, not potential, it was a terrorist flight, but they didn't get all the way, thank God.
Oh my goodness. And like I said, you can read about all of this in My Pursuit of Beauty. So it's not just beauty, it's the experiences that you've had in your life, the challenges, experiences such as this. Also tell us about, you had the opportunity to meet screen legend Lauren Bacall.
Right.
So tell us about this meeting too. I'm so curious.
Well, it goes back to being about very entrepreneurial. And again, I'm not necessarily overly proud of it, but in 1997, I was working across the street from Rodeo Drive, and the whole area there. And Jimmy Stewart, the famous actor, had passed away, and he had his funeral right there at the Presbyterian Church in Beverly Hills. And I crashed the funeral. I went there. I knew I loved Jimmy Stewart. I wanted to pay my respect, and the security wasn't that big, so I went into the funeral. And at the time, every legend that was alive was there. Bob Hope, Kate Hepburn, again, Lauren Bacall, like you mentioned, and Ann Miller, Katherine Grayson, everybody you can imagine. And I never went there to actually drum my business. I just thought it'd be a time to see all these legends spot, and I did. But on the way out, I did compliment Lauren Bacall's fragrance that she was wearing, and we just went on a conversation, started talking together, and eventually, a half an hour later, she said, "Oh, I'd love to hear about your product line and what you're trying to do." And we ended up having lunch about 3 weeks later at the famous Ivy in Beverly Hills. The people in the area probably know the Ivy. And once again, everything that possibly could have gone wrong went wrong. I was all excited about meeting, Lauren Bacall and having lunch with her. Mm-hmm. She was extremely glamorous, head to toe, beautiful white Donna Karan, suit with a big white hat on, just absolutely elegant. And again, everything that went wrong could have went wrong. From the very first second we sat down, if people have been to the Ivy, they have these cobblestone floors, and the tables are kind of rickety. I put my elbow down, flipped the whole entire table over.
No!
All the water, everything. Then, 5 minutes later, I end up swapping my arm, throwing a red bottle, a glass of wine all over her chest.
On the white suit?
Yeah, so everything went wrong, possibly wrong. So at the end of the lunch, she was like, goodbye, God bless, I'm out. And I just I covered her in wine, I covered her in spaghetti, which came later on down to it just was a big mess. So I blew my shot for sure, but for working with Lauren.
Oh my gosh, that's absolutely hilarious. You guys, if you're just joining in today, we are with beauty expert Vince Minato. He's talking about his new book, which is My Pursuit of Beauty. He's got his new skincare line that we're going to demonstrate and show you soon. And he's live right now as we are here, coming to you live on Sway TV. So if you have any questions or comments, anything, suggestions, any questions that you want to ask Vince about beauty, about skincare, about tips and trade secrets of Hollywood, well, now's your chance. Go ahead and go into the chat section like somebody just did. Vince, what does cosmetic chemist mean? It's a really good question.
Sure. Cosmetic chemist means we actually develop from scratch hair care, skin care, body products, fine fragrances, et cetera. So it's really it's cosmetry of beauty products. So it's really taking the whole structure of a beauty product and developing it from scratch, and or reverse engineering something to kind of make it better. So it really is a full chemistry of just beauty products in general. So everything we wear, and we develop everything at my company. Even for RX drugs, SPFs. I worked on hemorrhoid products. So everything you possibly can imagine. So it's all beauty and beauty and medical, I should say.
Got it, got it. So it's not just what people would think of white label cosmetic. It's something that you create from the very beginning all the way through.
Correct. We do both. So we have companies that we actually develop everything from scratch for. And to your point, Candace, we also can develop white label for customers that put their name on it, or we can also first engineer products, meaning that we can take like a Chanel product and make it better if Chanel wants to do that, or if a competitor wants to do it.
Right. We never have another question. What was it like to work with Gwen Stefani?
Another lovely, lovely person. She's here in Orange County, where I'm from. Very, very sweet. I worked on her lip care line, which is in Macy's right now under a label called Lamb, L-A-M-B. It's something she did actually with her daughter. So I did the lip colors for her. And I didn't see her a lot, but I worked with her only myself personally a couple of times. Then you go through all the layers of attorneys and marketing people and her agents and everything. But I did work with her a couple of times directly, and she's absolutely lovely and very, very sweet woman. And her famous red lipstick I worked on for her for many, many years. So that's, I'm very proud of the product that we did for her.
Oh, because I've always thought of her as having those bold red lips, like the matte bold red, and it's kind of her signature look. So you helped create.
Yes, correct.
Oh, yeah. I love it. I love it. Yeah, so if you have any questions that you want to ask Vince right now, now's your chance, now's your opportunity. If you have any questions about skincare or beauty, he's got his brand new line right now. So tell me about, until somebody leaves another question, tell me about that tornado in Iowa, because it just sounds so crazy. Vince, how do you get yourself into these situations?
Well, I always tell people I actually can be swimming in the ocean and get hit by a train. I don't know, but I don't know how it happened, but it actually would happen. So I mean, again, I love the sciences. I wouldn't be in chemistry. So I am also a frustrated meteorologist. I do love weather. I grew up with my dad watching lightning storms we should go out on the porch and watch lightning storms together. So it's another kind of passion of mine. But not that I chose to be in a tornado, but I was at a meeting in Iowa. And in a rental car, and I just was driving away and talking to a colleague on the phone, and in my rearview mirror I saw a absolutely perfect, beautiful, you want to call it beautiful, it was, but I mean as far as nature was concerned, a beautiful F5 tornado funnel coming right behind me, and I knew it was an F5 right away because I can tell by the structure. This is going to be the end of me here, and that ended up with me anchored to underneath an overpass with some Iowa people that knew what they were doing with no chains. This whole thing went over top of us. My rental car got sucked up. All my Louis Vuitton luggage went flying, and I was screaming, "My Louis, my Louis!" And the woman that I was with thought I actually was had a kid in the car. I'm like, no, it's my luggage. She's like, "Why are you screaming about your luggage in the middle of a tornado?" I'm like, "Well, I mean, I see it flying around out there." So I mean, everything that happened to me, again, possibly could have, that you can think of. So like you mentioned, there's a lot of cautionary tales in the book as well that are also very funny.
Oh my gosh, I've got a lot more questions for you. Another viewer said, what was it like to work with Michael Jordan?
Michael, that was the very, very beginning of my career. I worked on a cologne for him through Bijan, the company in Beverly Hills. I was really kind of an intern at that point. I was only when I was 20 years old. He's one of my very, very first products. Again, a lovely, lovely man. He was at the height of his career. His Air Jordan sneakers had just come out. And we developed this line, which is still being sold in Foot Locker today. So a very nice man. Again, one of my very, very first products that I ever worked on and collaborated with, and it's still out in the market today. And I'm really proud of that one too. I mean, I was like a kid at the time, but I was still learning about it. But I still had a big part of it though, which was kind of exciting.
Oh, that's very cool. And somebody else, Mar asks, how does a customer know what ingredients are in your products? I also think that's very important. It's a good question.
Oh, sure. All the ingredients actually are on the back of the kit itself, but on my website, we have all the ingredients listed there as well. So you go on the website, and we have a full disclosure of all the ingredients that are in the products, and it tells you right there in black and white everything that's in them.
Oh, good, good. And then Pulpwood Queen asks, what is your biggest dream that you would want to come true?
Probably it's my product line. My whole journey as a kid was to always have my name on a product, and I just coincidentally started doing it for other people, which I really, really enjoy. But I've been behind the scenes on these product lines for about 25 years. So my ultimate long-term goal is to hopefully have a legacy and a product line that's been as old as the Cartiers and the Louis Vuittons and the Chanels and the Lauders that have been around now for over 100 years. I mean, Louis Vuitton and Cartier are 250 years old. So my long-term goal is to have a line left behind that carries my name that's long gone, that's here long after I'm gone.
Oh, okay, that sounds wonderful. And for those of you who are just joining us, we're speaking to Vince Spinato, who is the author of My Pursuit of Beauty. And speaking of your product line, for those of you who are just joining, I'd like to show it to you. I'm so excited. We've got it here. We've got Vince, who's coming to us, beaming to us live from Orange County right now. So here's the product line, and I'm going to open it, and I'm going to show you. How is that for luxury, ladies? This is so beautiful. I love the packaging for one. Look at these products. This would be such, you know what? This would be such a gift, such a wonderful gift for yourself, for self-care, for a family member, for a significant other. Hello. Oh, it's Sam. Oh my goodness. How are you, Rosalinda, my friend? She's just joining in. Somebody else just said we love anti-aging. And speaking of anti-aging, Vince, why don't I go ahead and take these products out for new people that have just joined one by one. You missed the first half of the show. That's okay, because I'll tell you who we have right now. It's Vince Spinato, and he is a beauty expert. He just wrote a book called My Pursuit of Beauty. This is his line of skincare. So we thought we would bring these out for the new ladies who have just joined. And what I could do is bring them out one by one. And if you can just tell us a little bit about each product and basically what it does. Oh, amazing in yourself, my friend. Thank you. Good morning. How are your kids? And she says hello, Vince, to you.
Hello back.
Now, tell us, what is this first product in your skincare line?
So this first product you're holding, Candace, is called a micellar fluid. And what it basically is a waterless cleanser. So you can use this anywhere when you don't have access to water or to a sink, which is the whole purpose, the reason why I developed it. About 7 years ago, California was in a horrible water drought. So one of my ideas was to try and help with water consumption, or lack of water consumption, I should say, and develop a product that you can use without water, and also be able to have on an airplane and that kind of thing that you can take when you travel. So it's dual active, meaning that it works. You use it as a regular cleanser in the morning, and also a makeup remover for the evening time. And it does take off everything. So we've done ocular studies with it, meaning that we tested for the eye area. So it's very safe for contact use wearers. So you can use it on the whole eye area, the lid underneath, etc. So you really don't need any water whatsoever, and you just can use a cotton swab if you wish to take it all off. And if you shake it, Candace, you'll see that it has like little jojoba beads in there, which add a lot of moisturization to the skin as you're actually taking off the product. But they only float for about 15 seconds. That's why I'm telling you to shake it.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I see. Yeah, there they are. So now after you use this product, do you recommend rinsing with water, or you don't need water after you take your makeup off?
You don't need to, actually. You don't need any water at all. So it's really, and also it can be used as a toner during the day. So if you want to eventually kind of put it in like a little to-go sprayer and refresh with it also during the day.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, we have another product in here, ladies. Okay, Vince, there we go.
All right, that's our dual active eye cream, and again, we're calling everything dual active in the regimen because it's meant to work everything morning and night. So it's really kind of 4 products that work at 8. So this one is the eye cream, and this treats fine lines, wrinkles, and feathering in the evening time, and also dark circles, puffiness, and discoloration in the morning. The meaning that you can put it on the whole entire eye area, which is kind of unusual for an eye cream. This is for the whole entire orbital. So the lid, the crow's feet, wrinkles on the side if you have them, and underneath the eye as well, full entire circle all the way across the brow bone underneath the eye. So it's a dual active product that you can use morning and night.
Oh, that's wonderful. And it soaks in, I would assume soaks into the eye, and it doesn't leave like a greasy film. Now, go ahead, and these are the little capsules that I loved.
Right, and these are the individual caviar capsules. The product line is called Caviar and Diamond. So we have a diamond product that we'll show next, Candace, and this is the caviar one. So it's a pure capsule, and you tried it earlier on your hand, and it just feels and melts in like silk. It leaves a very powdery, talky dry down to it, so there's no shine, no oiliness. And what it actually does, so it tightens and firms the skin on contact, but also it's a phenomenal base to your foundation, to your makeup, because your makeup will slide and glide on your skin much easier. And also, it's got a lot of playtime, meaning that when you put it onto your skin, it moves around a lot, and you can take it down to the neck, to the neck area, and also top of the décolleté. And you can use that one. You actually can use a capsule morning and night, but there's a 30-day supply in there, for 1 per day.
Oh, how awesome. Now, you know what we just did a minute ago, for you ladies who were not here earlier, I'm going to take out a capsule actually, and I'm going to break it open, and then Vincent's going to talk about it, and we're just going to tell you how I just break it like this, right?
Yep, correct.
I pinch the top, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to squeeze this on my palm. Now, what am I going to be experiencing, Vince, as I rub this on my hand, which would be my face?
Right. So you have a lot of playtime, meaning you can have a lot of spreadability and movement with it. So you can really go the whole entire face, the base of the neck, the top of the décolleté, and when you're done, you're going to feel a very, very talky, powdery dry down to it, which makes all the oil and the shine off the skin. But also, if you're a dry skin person, it gives you a tremendous amount of moisturization without kind of feeling oily or looking oily, for that matter. And then you go into your foundation would be your next step if you wanted to go ahead and put foundation on top of that.
Oh, it just feels like silk. For all of you that are out there right now, and I'm just experiencing this, it is so soft and it's silky, and I love, there's a light, fresh scent. It's not overpowering. I don't like things that are too perfumey. And this just feels wonderful. It just feels like it's fresh and it's dewy. It's the best way to describe it.
Right, and we call them morning dewdrops. You picked the perfect name. That's what the product is actually called. So there you go. How you like that?
I know, it's this morning dewdrops.
Right.
Thank you so much, Rosalinda. Candace, you know, my oldest noticed, he said, Mom, Candace played in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Thank you so much for remembering. Yes, I was actually in another show called Masked Rider that came off of that. So thank you for remembering. Thank you so much. That makes my day, you guys. Now, talk about, oh my goodness, I know this is your creme de la creme, so let me go ahead and show it.
So this is the caviar and diamond product, which is encapsulated, meaning that the encapsulation is that the caviar beads actually are suspended in the matrix in the gel. So the outside is all diamond cert, which is diamond dust, and diamond dust is really great for the skin because it's really rich in magnesium PCA, copper PCA, zinc PCA. So it's all the earth metals, and our bodies are about 75%-ish oceanic elements, and the other 25% are earth metals. So that's where kind of the story comes from. You have the caviar suspended in the gel, so you have all your omega-3, amino acids. This all helps tighten and firm the skin, adds moisturization. Then you have all the earth metals that are there to actually bring moisture, cell turnover, helps with your cell matrix, tightening and firming the skin on contact. So we call it an instant gratifier because you actually can feel and see the difference on your skin in about 50 to 20 seconds, which is kind of unusual for a product. So when you get a chance to try this on your face, you'll see and feel the difference immediately.
Right, and actually, this is the front of the bottle, but last time you encouraged me to turn it so the ladies can see the caviar in there. And then you know what I'll do? I'll open it up too, and I'm gonna, if you could see the caviar suspended, let me put my hand up.
Right, there you go, yep.
You can see it suspended in the gel. So how do you recommend the ladies use it? Just go ahead and bring out the gel and the caviar.
Yeah, you use it like a regular product. When you put your finger in, and or like we also have a little plastic little spoon that comes with it. You can use that, and the matrix and the gel mix it together automatically, so you don't have to do anything special. It all comes out together. Oh,
wonderful. Now, if people want to purchase this, well, tell us first about how to purchase your book so we can read about this, and then also if they want to go ahead and purchase this awesome luxurious skincare line, how do they do that?
Sure. The book is on Amazon, so we have the Kindle and the paperback on Amazon, of course. We have an audiobook coming out within like the next month. Will also be available, on Amazon. And then the product line right now is just on my website, but we're working on to get it into Amazon right now. And the product line is on vincenzoskincare.com. And I'll just spell it because it's kind of a tough name, but it's Vincenzo, Vincenzo skincare.com. So that's available there at the moment. And now we're going through all the paperwork and stuff to get it on the Amazon as well.
Oh, great. Okay, and so now I want to show everybody once again the luxurious packaging. This is the entire skincare system that Vince has been talking about, and this is what you receive. I see comments, Candace rocks. Thank you, I appreciate it. And then another comment, I love reading. I would love to purchase your book, Vince. So that's terrific. So the way to get it is to go onto Amazon, because it's on the Amazon platform right now. And then in short order, you will be able to now, is this all in one package for the luxury skincare, or can you also will you be able to purchase these separately or in the entire kit?
Right now it's just the entire kit. So it's all in the kit just the way it is. And it's not available a la carte at the moment. It's all in the kit.
Okay, yeah, but this is a great way to start off the years, the way I think, for your skincare. Phenomenal face products. Thank you so much is what we're hearing. Linda from SOM. So now, for those of you who are just joining us, we're talking to Vince Pinato and his book, My Pursuit of Beauty. He also has a phenomenal skincare line that we've just shown you, and we're going to be talking about later that as well. Now, in your book, we do talk about beauty and funny stories that you've been telling us, but also one of your main points in this book is your ability to have been moving constantly towards self-acceptance. Right. So why don't you, for the viewers who've just joined in, tell us about that and how this has been a lifelong journey for you.
Sure, and that really was the case. I didn't know kind of how to get there, or if I ever. I'm 46 years old right now, and I would say I only got there a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. And I want to mention, sometimes we always have like a life-changing moment in our life. We feel like a light switch went on, and the following day you're a different person. I am just a little backstory. I'm a big World War II history buff. So I studied World War II. Ever since I was a kid, I used to watch all the History Channel stuff with my father. So I minored in Holocaust studies when I was in college. I'm Roman Catholic. I'm not Jewish or anything, but I still was fascinated with just World War II in general. I want to know a lot more about the Holocaust. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is at the very end of my book, I visited Auschwitz in Poland, which my products are being made in Warsaw, the products you're just showing, Candace. So I make them over in Warsaw, Poland. And I took my visit to Auschwitz, and I spent a night there on the camp. I actually slept overnight on the camp to try and pay my respects and just kind of experience. I mean, it's kind of hard to say, experience what anybody went through, because obviously what I did was nothing compared to what people went through there. But that was a moment where the following day I was a different person, and that actual moment of sleeping on the camp and being in that experience, I felt like I accepted myself. I just felt that nothing else was more important anymore, and I don't know quite what triggered it. It was so important to me that my book actually was finished and done. We're getting ready to go to print, and I went back to my ghostwriter, and I want to mention that too. I have a ghostwriter, Mickey Goodman, in Atlanta, Georgia, who's absolutely brilliant. This whole entire book is written by her. I told all the stories, and it's all my own words, but I have every learning disability you can imagine, so I actually didn't put pen to paper. She did all the work, and she's absolutely brilliant. If anybody wants a ghostwriter, she's the one to go to. But I went back to her. I said, Mickey, we have to get this story into the book, and the book was done. And I said, so it's one of the last chapters in the book, and that was really the trigger for me. And coming out of that being, I mean, nothing else is the experience of sleeping on the camp was chilling, breathtaking. And it just made me feel like everything that I was dealing with in my life was just not important anymore. So that was my trigger. It's a very bizarre, weird trigger to have, but that's what actually did it for me. And I don't know what came out of that or why, but that was what actually changed my kind of perception of myself.
Wow. Well, Vince, we have one more minute, but I know somebody had a question that they wanted to ask you. Do you have a favorite fragrance?
I do actually. I don't really wear anything that I work on, because after being like anybody, you work on something for 18 months, you don't want to smell it anymore. But I use right now Tom Ford's Black Orchid is one of my favorites. That's what I'm wearing right now. So I like a lot of the Tom Ford fragrances. So I use his Black Orchid, one called Fucking Fabulous. Excuse the language, but that's what it's actually called. So I wear that right now, one as well. So that's the two that I'm wearing. I kind of alternate with at the moment.
Oh, awesome. And then Sam wanted to let you know real quick before we have to go, the Holocaust studies are great for you, and also best friends with somebody who's Polish. She's in the process of reading 3 books. But thank you so much, Vince, for spending this time with us. It went by so fast.
Yeah, thank you, Ken. I really appreciate it. It's so good to talk to you.
Likewise. And for you guys that are out there, if you want to check out his book, My Pursuit of Beauty, it's available on Amazon. And also if you want to check out his new skincare product that's going to be out soon. So we'll keep in touch with you so we can figure out how we can get this beautiful line of skincare. Vince, thank you so much for joining us live today here at Sway TV. We look forward to seeing you again soon.
Candace, thank you for all your time, darling. It's great talking with you.
Take care. Mwah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for a wonderful time here at Sway TV. I'm so happy that you were able to join me here this morning and continue watching for great programming. And remember, enjoy your Monday. It is your choice. Thank you so much. We love you all. Mwah. Bye. Make
sure you guys follow Sway TV.
Follow Sway right here. Ooh, it's this way, sorry.
Corey says, thank you, Sway TV. Shakira says, thank you, Sway. Yes, guys, it is so much fun. We love Sway TV. So grateful for you guys and for Sway TV.
We'll see you soon. Until then, let's sway.
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 Let's sway.